Now this video is in two parts. The second part will be uploaded tomorrow night, which will be a real world impressions of the lens. I've actually taken it out and done some sample photos of it, which will be included in that video. But this video is about my first impressions of the lens and also some sample photos that I've done where I've tested up against 3 other Panasonic Lumix lenses. Now, first of all, this is a big lens, okay? This is the 50mm 1.4 lens, which is a big lens. This is bigger. It's the 24 to 72.8, so it's a very fast multi-zoom, I guess you can call it. I mean, most pro photographers have the 24-70 in their bag. It's the most underappreciated lens you can get, but it's also the handiest lens you can get. It has, take the hood off, it has a petal style hood. The front filter size is 82mm, so it's actually bigger than the other 3 Panasonic Lumix lenses, the 24 to 105, the 70-200 f4. They're both f4 lenses, and the 50mm 1.4, they're all 77mm front filter threads. This is an 82, so I'm guessing the new 70-200 2.8 and the 16 to 35 f4, which should be out later this year, will be 82mm, which, yeah, so I'm gonna have to get some 82mm filters now because all mine are 77mm. It's a piston style lens as well, so as you zoom in and out, the lens comes out. It's not internal zoom, it's actually an external piston style, which is not too bad. Most lenses are. It does keep the lens shorter than, say, my Nikon's 24 to 70 f2.8, but that is a VR lens. Nikon actually added vibration reduction into that lens. This has no image stabilizer in this lens. This is just a normal lens, really. You'll be relying on the in-body stabilization of the S1, S1R, and the S1H. It has the manual override, which means you just click that ring down and then you go into manual focus, which is quite nice, and it's very smooth and it's very easy to use. Its minimal focus distance is 37 centimeters or 370mm basically, which is actually quite close. And like I said, it's 24 to 70 f2.8 and it goes up to f22. It's a really nice lens. It's very comfortable. Now, as you notice, the profile of the lens, it's not a can shape. I call them can shape, but most modern mirrorless lenses now are actually just a big cylinder. They've got no shape to them, so they don't fit nice in the hand, especially when you hold it on the camera. This has a nice shape to it, and it is actually very, very comfortable, but it is a big lens. Let's be honest. I'm going to put them next to each other again and take the hoods off. Everybody complained about how big the 50mm 1.4 was, and yeah, that's quite a big lens, but it is good, I must admit. And it's also on the back, it says certified by Leica. Now, what I've done is I've put this lens up against the 24 to 105, the 70 to 200, they're both f4 lenses, and the 50mm 1.4 and this lens. Now, I've shot, the model this time is this beautiful Pentax camera. Now, it's a Spotmatic. Now, this camera has a bit of history to it. This was sent to me quite a few months ago to review. Well, it was actually sent to me as a gift from Scott Graham in Canada. Now, he's a YouTuber. Now, if you've not seen his channel, you're not watching these videos, the link will pop up here and be down below in the description. Please head over to his channel. It's a small channel and it's growing quite fast now, and I think Scott started way before I did, and I don't think he gets as much love as he should get really on his channel. He does some amazing videos and he's a really down-to-earth, nice guy. So if you can head over there and maybe subscribe to his channel as well, because he's got some very, very cool videos. I do like grabbing a coffee and watching one of Scott's videos. They're very entertaining. So please head over to his channel. But he sent me this camera as a gift because I said I'd never shot with a Pentax camera, and I've been planning on doing a review of it, and which I will do soon. I promise you, Scott, I will do a review on this camera. Now, what I've done is I've shot all 4 lenses at basically f2.8 or f4. So the best way to describe this is the 50mm has gone 1.4, f2.8, f4, f8. The 24 to 70 is 2.8, f4 and f8. The 24 to 105, f4, and the 70-200 f4 go f4, f8. So they're basically the fastest aperture is f4 on them. I've shot them all at 50mm. Apart from the 70-200, I just moved the camera back a little bit further just so I can line up the photo. And I've shot all those different apertures, and to see which is the sharpest, to see how good this 24 to 70 is compared to the other Panasonic Lumix lenses. This is the sharpest lens, but I haven't actually looked at the photos yet, so you guys can tell me. The 24 to 70 does look very, very sharp. Like I said, the build of this lens is really good. It's a very, very comfortable lens to use. The manual override is nice, and it does focus quite fast. I must admit, I'm quite surprised how fast it focuses. Point to point, I say it was faster than my Nikon's. I had the latest generation 24-70 2.8 f/VR lens. That was fast, but I actually think point to point this is faster. Now, one thing I did notice in my testing, I actually put the lens on the S1H, and I did a quick focusing test basically. I just tapped on the rear screen from one point to another point, so near to far and far to near basically, to see how smooth the transition was. And this lens, even though this is a pre-production lens and the S1H is a pre-production camera as well, with a very early firmware, was very, very smooth. Probably the smoothest I've seen of any of my Panasonic lenses. It was very, very natural looking, like it had been pulled with a focus puller basically. So that's a nice bonus with this lens. It's going to be very, very nice to have on the S1H. The only problem with this lens on the S1H is that you're relying on the in-body stabilization of the S1H. The lens has no stabilization, which would have been nice because it is quite a big lens. Not having stabilization in the lens is the one part that's making me consider not buying this lens. The extra stop over my 24-105 is nice, and it's constant as well, which is really, really nice, and it's a nice focal range. Not having that stabilization in the lens takes that away from the camera, especially when I'm doing handheld, and the 24-105 actually has stabilization built into it, which is a really nice feature, and it just adds to the whole package. On the S1H, I think you get like 6.5 stops of stabilization, which is absolutely outstanding. It's as good as the GH5 basically. Down the bottom, you will find a link to a Dropbox folder. Now that will be there for about 2 months. I will try and keep it up as long as I can. They are full res JPEGs shot with the S1R and all 4 lenses. Like I said, I've tried to get it as accurate as I can, so you guys can just see how sharp and how good this lens is. Now also remember, this is a pre-production lens. This is a review sample. This isn't the final production lens, and also my camera hasn't had any firmware updates or anything, and I don't know whether I need one with this lens. Part 2 of this video will be uploaded tomorrow, and that video will be a real world samples of the photos for you to download. So I went out for a few hours and I took some sample shots, and they will be there for you to download so you can see how good the shallow depth of field is, how well it focuses, what the fall off is on natural items, not brick walls or anything. I just went for a walk out in the countryside basically, and those photos will be there for you to download, which will be in a Dropbox folder as well, which will be in the link in the description. So hit that subscribe and hit that little bell icon, and you'll get a notification when that video comes out tomorrow. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Everything helps, and it helps me improve my videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. You have to excuse the background noise because I'm in front of a dam, and we've had quite a bit of rain here in New Zealand, so yeah, I can't get rid of that at the moment, and it's quite full. I've taken some nice